All right. Meet my boyfriend's dog, Big Z. He's a 95-pound purebred pit bull. Let's see, I gotta grab the dogs. This is Rodney. He's a little pug. And this is Kirby. He's a beagle. There, everyone got him.
He's the naughty boy.
He's the naughty boy. Now, if you guys didn't know my dogs at all, and you guys were coming to my house, and let's say you had your newborn baby and your 3-year-old son, and all my dogs were running towards you, which dog do you think, honestly, you'd be most afraid of?
Yeah, the big dog.
The big dog. And is there any other reason why you'd be afraid of him?
Because they can knock you down and bite your arm off.
And what about because he's a pit bull? Have you heard bad things about pit bulls?
Oh yeah,
in the media?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and lots of other people would agree with you that just because it's a pit bull, oh no, it's a bad dog. So now I'd like to share a video with you from one of my favorite TV shows called The Pit Boss. His name is Shorty Ross. He owns a talent management company, and his funds from his talent management company go to his pit bull rescue center. And he's very educated about the breed, so I'll share it with you. Oh, gotta be kidding me. It's bad.
Why do pit bulls sometimes get a bad rap?
Well, people don't understand the breed of pit bulls, and most of the people want a pit bull to be a guard dog. So what do? They train it to be vicious. You don't train pit bulls to be vicious. If you want a guard dog, get a German Shepherd or a Rottweiler. That's what they're bred for. Pit bulls are family dogs. People don't understand. In the 30s and 40s, these were actually nanny dogs. Woodrow Wilson, president, and also Franklin Roosevelt had pit bulls in the White House. And they're also the poster dog for the Marines.
Yeah, nobody's out there training a Chihuahua to be vicious.
Yeah, but no.
Okay, how did this show start? How did this thing get started?
Well, we've always been pitching shows to different reality networks and so forth about, doing shows. And we never thought, because of being pit bulls, that'd be a negative thing. But as I went to these different networks for meetings, I always had 2 pit bulls with me. And Animal Planet goes, wait a minute, you want a pit bull rescue? And they go, yeah, well, we're looking for something edgy. What's more edgy than little people and pit bulls?
Okay, so season 2 was sort of split up. You aired the first half of the season already, and the second half of the season's coming up. What do we have to look forward to?
More crazy things, but we're really getting into banning the BSL laws, breed-specific legislation. We went to Denver and raised a ruckus. We're on our way to Miami. We're trying to, these people who are passing these laws, never been around a pit bull, always afraid of them. I mean, when he first saw Hercules, it's like, it's a natural reaction to say, can I do this and that? And so they're passing these laws, but they've never been around a pit bull.
I was a TV news reporter in the Midwest when they started passing pit bull banning legislation. And it's funny because people just see when there's a pit bull attack on the news, and they think all pit bulls are like that. And it's really easy to get those laws passed in a lot of communities because it happens right after some bad event took place.
And even like with some of the bad things that do happen, they don't report the whole story of what the truth was. I mean, anything or anyone can go off on somebody.
Right.
Do you think that Jeffrey Dahmer's parents raised him to be who he was? No.
So where do we go from here after season 2, which is already shot?
So as you can see, he said many good things about the breed. Shorty and his team do remarkable things to help this breed survive. These dogs are loyal, strong, and determined. Like Shorty said, they weren't called nanny dogs for nothing. Next, I would like to talk about the breed-specific legislative ban, which is something that Shorty mentioned. Basically, it's a law passed to ban certain breeds, and mainly the pit bull breed. Pit bulls are unfair victims of negative publicity because they have bad owners breeding them and training them for dog fighting. This breed is used for someone else's selfish satisfaction, labeling them as vicious and aggressive dogs. This results in the BSL laws. Breed-specific ban. This ban can also be very costly to us. Such costs include payroll for additional animal control officers to enforce the legislation, kenneling costs to house the dogs that are seized or given up, and additional vet care for animals who are seized because the breed has been banned or restricted. These dogs are held by the city or county while owners work to meet restriction requirements or file lawsuits to fight the ban. Many responsible dog owners are choosing to fight these laws in courts, and they are winning the cases, causing taxpayers to pay for these court costs. In 2001, Baltimore, Maryland estimated it cost the city $750,000 a year to enforce this law. It's unfair to see the pit bull breed being affected by this law just because their owners give them a bad name. Any dog can attack him in the right situation, as Shorty had mentioned. So why isn't any other breeds being affected by this law? This is why we should be making the laws against the owners and not the breed. Some other facts about the BSL law is BSL was found unconstitutional by the U.S. courts. Alabama Supreme Court upheld the decision that pit bulls were no more inherently dangerous than any other breed, and this case was very costly to the city. Toledo Municipal Court ruled American Pit Bull Terriers are not dangerous and granted dog owner due process rights. Westbury, New York, 2003, court ruled that the city's BSL was unconstitutional and repealed the law. Today, the American Pit Bull Terrier is a beloved animal that is used in a variety of helping functions in society, including police dogs, search and rescue dogs, therapy dogs, educational dogs, and farm dogs. Even so, negative publicity has led many cities to condone them as a community problem. This perception has been supported by the prevalence of illegal dog fighting in cities and small towns across the U.S. The negative treatment of pit bulls in our society is unfortunate to say the least. Pit bulls and people can live harmlessly if given the chance. Training is an important consideration in pit bull ownership. The history of this breed demonstrates that unless he is properly trained and socialized at a very young age, this strong-minded dog will quickly attempt to dominate the household. However, with proper training, the pit bull can be remarkably loyal and a valued family member. Between 1840 and 1940, this breed was extremely popular. They were used as a family pet or a farm dog. During this time, the pit bull were very trusted dogs. The American Pit Bull Terrier has been a beloved symbol of America. In World War I, a pit bull named Stubby captured the heart of the nation. Stubby was the unofficial mascot of the 102nd Infantry Division and was credited with saving the lives of several of his comrades. For his valiant service, Stubby won several medals and was even awarded the rank of sergeant. He came home from the war to a hero's welcome and went on to become the mascot for Georgetown University. Over the years, many famous people have owned a pit bull. Some include, like Shorty said, President Woodrow Wilson, President Theodore Roosevelt, Mark Twain, Thomas Edison, Alicia Silverstone, and Rosie Perez. So what happened to America's most trusted and loving breed? Nothing has changed with this breed but society and the owners that make them bad by participating them in illegal dogfighting and using their strengths against them to make them vicious. That's the only thing that's changed. The American Temperament Society has tested over 28,000 dogs. These dogs are tested for their ability to interact with humans, human situations, and the environment. They have found the American Pit Bull Terrier came in second place with 86%, beating some of the world's most trusted dogs like the Golden Retriever. Clearly, the Pit Bull has demonstrated equal or better temperament than any other breed that are not being banned in the U.S. and that are not being used in dogfighting, or what about being neglected or killed just because of their name? Many cities, streets, and shelters are filled with these dogs, and no one will take them in because of their name. So what's wrong with America today? Why do we hate this breed so much? Why do we abandon this breed and leave them to suffer? I'll tell you why. It's because of the owners. Raising a dog is the same as raising a kid. Monkey see, monkey do. What your parents teach you is how and what you learn, and that's the same as raising your dog. So now you tell me if you want to help raise awareness for this breed, to stop the breed-specific bans, stop the illegal dogfighting that kills thousands of dogs each year, and stop excessive breeding that leaves thousands of this breed homeless or killed. Would you own a pit bull now? The end. Any questions?
Pit bull is just not my favorite dog. I'm not afraid of them if they're raised properly, but it's just not my choice of dog. It's, and like you said, there are people that don't treat them right.
Right, and that's why they get such a bad name.
And it's
Because
not just the
people get them,
Poodles
think-
are more likely to bite you than a pit bull.
yeah. People get them and think, oh, they're this big dog, so I gotta treat them to be guard dogs. I gotta treat them to be vicious, and they use their strengths against them.
Right.
And it's sad to see. It's sad to see what people do to these dogs. I've seen many videos where they dog fighting and they It's sick. It just abandoned, leave them on the streets for dead. They shoot them with paintball guns. I mean,
They
just
deliberately starve them so they'll
really-
be mean and aggressive.
it's really mean what
Yes.
they do to these dogs, and it's like no other breed is really. People don't do this to any other breeds. I mean, you know, I've seen Chihuahuas that are more mean than a pit bull. They won't do as
More
much
aggressive.
damage if something happens, but you know,
And that's why it doesn't make national news.
exactly. That's why it doesn't make national news, and that's why this breed's gonna be banned.
Shorty said in the video, it's what the media puts out. You don't hear the full story a lot of the time.
Exactly.
No.
And they just make it to be this bad situation. I was watching a show actually. What was it? Where she has a dog rescue, the 200 dogs. What's it called? Pit bulls and parolees.
Parolees, yeah.
This little pit bull puppy, he was owned by a homeless guy, and the homeless guy died, and the pit bull wanted to survive, so he ate the owner. But the big news was,
Yeah.
oh, he's this vicious dog. He ate his owner.
And
They didn't put out the
any
whole
dog
story.
would have done that.
They didn't. Any dog would have done that to survive.
Mhm.
I mean,
Being
you'd be
trapped inside,
if
yeah.
you were out in the wilderness and you got into a car crash and you had a dead body there and you had nothing to eat.
And if anybody interviewed hospitals and were to get the statistics on dog bites, you'll find that the majority of dog bites
Our little dogs.
are
Little.
from other dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was always told growing up that a mixed breed German Shepherd is the most untrusted dog. And I've heard more, growing up, I've heard more German Shepherds that weren't purebreds damage, people biting. My sister was attacked by one.
Poodles are more
Yeah.
likely to bite you, and poodles are more likely to bite you.
Chihuahuas are worse than poodles.